Carla and Damon here from Games, Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for short, and it's Donkey Kong Country. They made what into a TV series. We're up to episode number 8 of season 1. Buried treasure. Check it. We have different writers. I know, Nadine van der Velde is not the writer for here. It is Erica Strabel and Bob Adriel. So 2 writers for this, which worried me because I'm like, 2 writers for a Donkey Kong Country episode? Yeah. What it probably means is someone wrote 90% or 100% of it and the other person came along and tidied it up. Yeah. That's what these tend to often mean. Yeah. Not that they were sitting there going, what do you got? I don't know what to write, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's a peaceful day on Conga Bongo and Cranky's enjoying a holiday on the beach. But his peace is interrupted by a swarm of bees. So the running theme for this episode is Cranky can't get any peace and quiet. Yes. That's a really smart move. To do that I think more episodes should do that, where the main story isn't this, but a running theme throughout it is this person's scenario. We kind of had that in the last one with Bluster. Yeah. But that was kind of tied into the overall plot, so I mean. But here we've got this, it's not the main part of the story. Elsewhere, our plantation, DK and Diddy are talking about Cranky's holiday. Before they can decide what to do, Funky arrives in his plane, and DK is excited and jumps around. Don't know why. Funky is excited about seeing Funky. I certainly wasn't. I was like, oh, I'm not this idiot.
Yeah, he's come to drop in some special packages.
Yes, because that, we should say, we kind of touched on the last as well, but like, although they're not saying it, Funky is he's clearly a pothead. Yeah, pothead. Yeah, clearly he is. But yeah, DK jumping around results in him slipping on a banana peel and banging into a tree. And it knocks a message in a bottle down. And when they open it, they find a map inside and Diddy thinks it leads to buried treasure. This scene, DK and Funky are really, really dumb. Mm-hmm. Really dumb. Like, for some reason, they've gone, okay, Funky's dumb, but we need to make DK on his level here. Yes. And the things and they're saying, the dialogue, I had a miserable time with this section. Yeah, I bet, yeah. Funky and Diddy, though, they're excited. But DK says, look, I can't go look for buried treasure. I've got a date. And to convince him, they then sing a funk song called Riches Galore, Let's Go. It's a funk song. I like a lot of the tracks and songs in these. They're fine. Yeah, I don't really worry too much about it. Yeah. Often it depends who's singing them. Mm-hmm. For example, every time Cranky gets a song, I'm like, it's like it's Freddy Krueger down that. Yeah, his voice. Yeah, his voice. Yeah. That's it. DK though, because obviously the actor that voices him and the singing voice are 2 different people, is often brilliant. Yep. Because the DK singing voice is a singer. Yes. So you get that really, really strong stuff. But it only works when he realises that he could buy a gift for Candy with the treasures. DK says, I'll do this because I can buy a gift for Candy. So they head off. Bluster, who's looking for a coin, overhears them though and decides to try and get ahead of them to find a treasure. And I was like, yes! Bluster's in the episode again! Yep. Yay! Bluster goes back to his factory and gets in the barrelcopter as DK and his group fly past. Before Bluster can leave though, Candy comes out and is mad about DK going off. Bluster tries to pawn her off but accidentally reveals that it's a treasure hunt. Dixie is now here and the pair get in the copter with Bluster demanding he takes them to the treasure. So Dixie just turns up. Yep. So this episode, I realised at this point, is a play on the rat race kind of thing. Where everyone's racing in groups to try and find a treasure. Yep. And we all know at the end it won't be a treasure, so to speak. Yep. Meanwhile, because we've got to have him, K. Rool, who's playing a video game in his lair as Crusher watches. But his game is interrupted by Clump, who ruins it completely by tapping into the TV signal. We've done this before. Let's not worry or think about the technology that exists on Conga Bongo. Yes. It just does. It does, yeah. Gossard's hanging out there. Yes, exactly, yeah. K. Rool is furious, smashes the TV, so Clump now calls on a mobile phone. Yeah. Again, okay, sure, why not? Crusher answers and... Well, that's the thing, this is late 90s. So there would have been phones, but like Nokia brick phones. Yeah, like we weren't that advanced in the mobiles yet. Crusher answers and Clump reveals the current hunt taking place in the mountain mines. Everybody just knows what everybody's doing. Yeah, so... But they don't know what the apes are looking for, though, and K. Rool thinks it might be a super weapon. Dude, that is a leap! Oh, God. That is a leap! I mean, where did he get that from? He's a super villain, he's like... So anyway, he decides, well, look, we'll beat them to it. Meanwhile, Funky is having some trouble landing a plane, and DK is not happy to lose all his bananas when they fly upside down. Funky doesn't seem to realise they're upside down, but is very chill about it. We get this all the time with Funky flying. Yes. Meanwhile, shortly behind them, Candy is arguing with Bluster about what they can use the treasure for. Dixie interrupts them to point out that they're heading the wrong way. So it's that. So it's silliness, you know? Cranky has managed to deal with his bee problem, Because remember, that's the kind of overarching thing that runs through it. But now it's ants that are annoying him, stealing his food. In the mountain caves, K. Rool and Crusher are on a minecart, and K. Rool points out that he knows the underground better than the apes. That I really liked.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, of course he probably does. This is his area.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Funky's plane runs out of gas and begins to crash. Funky surfs the airwaves and manages to fly the plane into a mine shaft safely. I'm not going to think about the logistics of planes surfing the airwaves. No. But it's funky, innit? Yes, why not? Yeah. As they walk the caves, they hear noises and they think it's a monster. But it turns out it's just DK's stomach because he's hungry. Bluster, Candy and Dixie have landed on a hot pursuit of DK, Diddy and Funky. Behind them, K. Rool and Crusher, who planned to steal the Doomsday device, as they now call it. DK, Diddy and Funky arrive where the treasure is supposed to be, and it's a train track with cross-sections, but there's no X. DK is weak from hunger and falls over a pile of stones which reveal an X on the other side of them. It's getting quite complex.
Yes.
Everyone else then arrives and declares that they're going to use the treasure for themselves. K. Rool then arrives and declares that the treasure is a Doomsday device, which apparently shocks everyone. And he then tells them his plan to use it to take over the island. Everyone is just leaping to mad conclusions here. They've convinced themselves that these are the things it is. So it's like, I know it's not going to be. You know it's not going to be. What did you think it was going to be?
Nothing. It's going to be nothing. It's either going to be like a dog and it's going to be appeared, there's going to be nothing there, or it's going to be like a setup by Cranky.
Yeah, I thought that. Because Cranky isn't involved in the episode, so I thought they'd open up a box and it'd be like a la ha ha note from Cranky.
Yes, yeah.
Like he sent them on this chase.
So he can have his
relaxation. Yeah, exactly that. During K. Rool's speech, though, Candy and Dixie have had enough. They pick up the treasure and just leave. And everyone's kind of like, oh, they've gone. K. Rool and Crusher give chase in the car. DK and Diddy decide they have to stop K. Rool. That's more important. Bluster wishes them luck, but Funky forces him along. Everyone is in the cart trying to find Candy and Dixie, and we then get a song from everyone called All I Want. And it's one of the best songs. And it's cool because you get a nice little variety of jumping back and forth between voices. I don't mind this one.
Yeah, it's a good one, yeah.
The song, though, ends with Candy and Dixie stopping short of going over a cliff. But you see it already. One by one, everyone smashes into each other, sending them over the edge into the beach below.
Yep.
K. Rool, though, ends up with the treasure, and Dixie tells DK to fight K. Rool, but DK is too weak from lack of bananas. He needs food. They've used this before. They use it again as an excuse for DK not to get involved.
Yeah, it's like the old Popeye spinach thing, isn't it, really?
It is. It's exactly that. K. Rool is over the moon, but he can't open the treasure, handing it over to Crusher, who opens it up. Inside, a note that says, keep your paws off my treasure, signed Donkey Kong. So I even know, but like, huh? DK did it. And this apparently prompts DK to remember that he set up the treasure when he was a kid. And his treasure was bananas that have now gone extremely bad. And you're like, oh, that's a real shitty cop-out, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like the Cranky one would have been a better story, really.
Yeah, yes, I know.
Yeah. K. Rool is disappointed, but figures he can still take out DK now as he's weak. So yeah, kill him. Yeah. Kill him, K. Rool. Cut his throat.
Let's finish it.
Yeah. But it's sad that Cranky stops everyone, though, as it's revealed they've landed on the beach that he was hanging out on.
Of course.
And one of the carts that fell have covered him when it landed. Crusher removes it, and Cranky is just furious with everyone. K. Rool orders Crusher to deal with it. Apes, though, as he's now tired. Okay? So he drinks the juice that has the bees in it. So Cranky earlier on captured the bees inside a jar.
Yep.
Of course, this just sends them running off in pain. Cranky decides to go home, having had enough of a holiday, as Candy and DK share a moment. Dixie then tries to share one with Diddy, who is outraged, disgusted by her suggestion that they have a kiss, and walks away. Okay, weird.
Yeah.
I never really get this relationship thing between Dixie and Diddy.
No, because I always thought that he was obviously like
the kids?
A kid, yeah.
I thought they were implied, like the young apes.
Yeah, I mean,
which might make sense, I suppose, because as a kid, you'd be like, oh, Cooties, get away from me, right?
I mean, Donkey Kong's got to be about 16, I reckon. I reckon around that sort of age, I reckon.
I mean, yeah, mate. I mean, right, no, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I don't really, I just see, Donkey Kong and Candy are adults.
Yes.
Dixie and Diddy are young apes.
Yeah.
Cranky's an older ape. Funky, Bluster all older than Donkey Kong.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if we want to do the age thing, then I suppose DK and Candy probably are late teens, early 20s, maybe? Like that kind of thing. Because DK can sometimes come across younger. Yeah. But that's because he's a little bit of an idiot, you know what I mean? Like, he's that kind of character. And the episode ends showing that Funky and Bluster are just trapped on her cart and everybody leaves them there. Yeah, this is a nothing episode. This is unmemorable. I like the setup. I thought the setup was good, and I thought it would be more exciting than it was. Particularly as I realised when we're doing a kind of rat race, catch the pigeon style thing.
Yeah.
I thought we might get more wackiness in it, but ultimately it just results to everybody in a minecart making massive presumptions. And even like I said, our idea of it being a cranky treasure hunt, and because even though it would tie into the end, that you could also suggest that perhaps throughout the episode, their search for the treasure disturbed the bees, scared the ants, and then the minecart landing and cranky. So even his attempt to distract them resulted in them disturbing him regardless.
Yeah.
That feels like an obvious direction to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me overall the episode wasn't a great episode, but I will give one thing to the writers. The new writers avoided the whole coconut.
They did? Oh!
About the coconut in this episode. So where the previous writer was 7 episodes all about the coconut, this one was nothing to do with it at all.
Good point. Not even mentioned.
Yeah, so that was a good basis. So they changed up a little bit.
Good point. Yeah, I suppose that's a positive. When you're watching like a 20-minute episode that you summon up in about 10 to 15 minutes in the short videos we talk it through, any positive like that is worth it. I also want to praise the song, what was the song called? All I Want?
Yeah, All I Want. Yeah,
All I Want as being one of the better songs for the show overall. So yeah, there's nothing really wrong or great or terrible about this one.
Yeah.
That was episode number 8, Buried Treasure. You got any thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?